Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Entrepreneur Journey Chats. The reason I started this was to really give back to our LinkedIn followership so that we can all learn tips, insights, golden nuggets from people who have started their own business or work alongside great organizations and have huge insights to share. Really, really important. And that's why I decided to do these chats, which hopefully I'll keep going as long as I possibly can. And today my guest is a friend of mine, as well as somebody who I do some work with. And Stephen Pepper has been in the profession of financial planning and professional independent advice for 20 years. Stephen works with people to help them see their financial future, whether this be for retirement planning, legacy planning, or another life goal. He is a big believer in keeping things simple, and I can ascertain to that, understandable, and providing some education to his clients along their financial planning journey. Providing true financial planning is about finding out what people really value in life and advising them how to be intentional with their finances to support this. And the other thing I want to say is congratulations on being shortlisted for an award, Stephen, as well.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, welcome. Anyway, lovely to have you on our chat today. Yes.
Thank you for having me, Susie. Yeah,
no, it's brilliant.
Real honor.
You know, I'm one of your clients, you know, through your financial company, and I know you look after me wholeheartedly. So I'm very honored to have you on today. So let's get straight into it. And the first question I wanted to ask is, obviously, I believe there is an art of personal leadership. I really do, that's unique to each individual. And it's the winning successes of our journey that I think help us to achieve our success, whatever that means to us. So what would you say are 3 tips of your strength that you felt has helped grow your business?
Yeah, I'd say the first one really is, especially with being such a young business that we've got at the moment, having been in the profession for 20 years, we've literally only started our business, we're in our 3rd year now. And one thing I've definitely learned and feel that is a strength is to be prepared to change tack. So you might be used to the way you've worked with other firms before. You might do things in a certain way, use certain pieces of software, programs, etc. But until you really start using it for your own business and trying to design your own way of doing things, you don't really know whether it's going to fit or not. And we've certainly found that with Electra. And along the way, we've probably changed tack maybe 2-3 times on a couple of bits and pieces. But you know, you just have to go for it. You've got to be brave enough, and we're small enough that trying to turn this ship around isn't going to take too long, not like working for some of the bigger firms out there. So yeah, the first thing I'd really say is be prepared to change tack. If it's required, just go with it.
And also what I think is great about you do use software, because a lot of, you know, companies within your genre don't. And I think you're cutting edge on that. I think that's a really good point, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it's a shame, really. We're still waiting for the industry, the financial services industry, to kind of catch up with us. So I'm typical of this anyway. I always want to run before I can walk. But we are trying to be as more modern as possible, trying to be signature free as possible, but especially during lockdown like we've got at the moment. It's quite challenging to process various different applications and things for clients. So the more slick we can be with our software, the better it is. And that probably leads me on to my second one, really, which is we're always trying to improve our clients' experience, because the more we can improve the journey for you and make it as easy as possible for you, the more likely you are to kind of carry on along that journey, and the less stumbling blocks there are going to be along the way. So for example, again in lockdown, because it's very prominent at the moment, we've discovered that our usual process of being able to print things off, pop them in the post to somebody, and then sign them and return them using old-fashioned snail mail is quite tricky to do, because we're trying to avoid being in the office wherever possible. So our backup process was to try and send things to clients with a secure portal, and they would then need to collect those documents off the secure portal, print them off, sign them, scan them, send them back. But even that has got like 2, 3, 4 different steps in it. And I know that I'm the same as anybody else. If I receive an email with 100 attachments to it, it's going to take me a long time to build up the stamina to want to go and address it. I might even need a glass of wine while I do it.
I like that. Yes.
So what we've now moved on to is, and it's not actually enforced yet, but we've now moved on to another back office piece of software that will replace one of our others, so we're not duplicating work, but it allows for those kind of digital signatures where I can send something to you, Susie, that will require your acknowledgement, but a signature in one form or another. And literally all you've got to do is read through everything. And if you're happy with it all and you want to confirm to sign, you haven't got to print anything off. You literally just press the button, or if you're on a tablet or with your mouse, press the button that says sign. Or you can decline, of course, if there's anything that you want to change. So it's just a matter of trying to find little changes like that make it easier for our clients.
Love it. Well, those are great insights to how you feel that it's helping you along your journey. Really, really good. The other thing I also think is, I believe successful people do definitely think differently. Like, you've created something out of the box, you wanted to be ahead of the profession, but I definitely do think people think differently and they do some things different as well. So share with me some of the values that have helped you and been alongside you on your journey.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm a big believer in is step out of your comfort zone. I mean, if you want to grow, if you want to achieve more, then you've got to try different things. And this is one example of those. I've never done an interview like this before, and it's been recorded and prepared to be shared around to wherever. So for me, this is stepping out of my comfort zone. This is hopefully going to help me grow. Hopefully I'll learn a few things from doing this with you. And that's why I do it, really, because I'm keen on learning all the time. And if I can take one thing away from this experience that helps me to grow, it'll be more than worth it for me. And same goes for reading books and that sort of thing. I'm, again, big fan of reading self-growth kind of books, whether they're business related or personal related. And again, my rule is, if I can take one nugget out of each thing, then that's great for me. So step out of your comfort zone, definitely. It's never done me any harm anyway. And what's the worst that can happen? You work out. So the next one, I'd probably say, because I've always worked for somebody else before owning a business, I've always seen previous managers or business owners try and take credit for something that either maybe I came up with the idea or one of my colleagues came up with the idea, and then all of a sudden the manager's saying, "Oh, I've come up with this," and it's like, what? So I'm not going to name anybody, of course. So for me, it's very important that if one of my team comes up with a really good idea that we implement, then I want it known amongst the team that who that individual was that came up with that idea, because I think credit should be given to those that deserve it. And I think hopefully in turn that gives me credibility as well, because I'm pretty much an open book, really. If somebody else came up with that idea, great. If it's going to work and help our business and help us all and help our clients ultimately, then let's do it. So yeah, that's for me.
That's great. That recognition to people, they feel better and they'll feel they're even stronger part of a team by doing that, letting them own it. And I think sometimes we can't all have the ideas, we all can't, whether we're business owners, entrepreneurs, work for somebody. You need a team, and they sometimes see things differently. And that actually moves me into the third thing I want to ask you. I truly believe that we all need what I call the circle of genius, a peer group, if you will, people that are around, with connections. This is why LinkedIn's so powerful, that if you wanted to go somewhere, or somebody's your outside eyes and ears. And I know I've worked with you, with the company you were with before this, and done some work there. What would you say were 2 things that I really helped add value to either you or, the organization at the time?
Yeah, you may remember this, I'm not sure, but yeah, as you say, you've worked with us with me in a previous firm, and I remember this vividly. One of the things that I know that, again, one of the golden nuggets that I took away from one of our sessions was just go for it, just do it. And what that related to was for me I was trying to build some local connections in the area, some other professional connections to work with, because there's quite a few kind of professions that we can have reciprocal business with. And there was one particular firm I was trying to get in touch with, and they hadn't responded to calls for whatever reason. And I think it was your last little push that made me just try again and go for it and try and get through to the right person. And believe it or not, that one phone call has led to me continually working with that particular firm. I still work with them today, and we've done a lot of reciprocal business together. So thank you first and foremost for that.
That's brilliant.
But yeah, that was definitely something that sticks with me. And another thing that I wanted to mention actually is that, like you, really, you build a circle of people that around you, whether they're professional connections or whether they're personal friends. And for me, another one is my peer group. So you mentioned at the start of the video that I've been nominated for an award.
Yes.
I've only been shortlisted. I haven't.
Doesn't matter. I'm putting it out there.
It's just great to even get a mention, to be honest.
Of course it is.
There are so many fantastic people within Next Gen Planners that it's great to be a part of it. We all share ideas. We help each other out.
Brilliant.
There's a common Slack group that we all use that, you know, in 1 year it had like something like 20,000 messages that people are that willing to help each other across the nation. Because, you know, there's always enough business for everybody to go around. And if we can help each other, it only makes our profession, it builds it up and brings it up
stronger
there.
And better. Absolutely.
Absolutely. If we can build the standards up, that can only be great for everybody. So, yeah, those are the two things that I'd probably mention there.
Okay, that's fantastic. Fantastic. The other thing is I believe everyone has the potential inside them to be greater than where they are right now. You know, obviously there's some mindset techniques or tools they need to believe in themselves and all the things that we know. And I truly believe they can, and people can live a happier, more fulfilled life. What would you say would be two things that you think people could master even more or get better at that have been useful on your journey?
Yeah, I've got some definite ones here that I've learned, particularly for me. The first and foremost for me, and it stays in my mind whenever I'm doing anything, whether that's with the business or personally, and it's to stay grounded. You know, you can have a really exciting day about something, but you need to remember who you really are. And for me, everything, my family is everything to me. So they come first. No matter what's going on in my day, how stressful I am or anything. And to be fair, you know, I don't always achieve it, but I try and make sure that I stay grounded and they keep me grounded. So if
that's lovely.
Thank you. So at the minute, you know, homeschooling is one of these things that we're all...
You're not pulling your hair out from it.
No, I've still got a couple of strands left. I'll be okay. No, my son, to be fair, he's fantastic. He just gets on with it. He's really clever anyway, so he doesn't need as much input. So I'm pretty lucky in that way. But yeah, if he needs my attention or time, then he will get it.
Amazing. Very humbling, Stephen. Yeah.
And another thing that I learned very recently in the last few years was just be truly willing to accept change. So life changes, whether you have an impact on it or it has an impact on you. Just go for it and be part of the change. If you want to see a change, be part of that change. But also, if something's changing around you and you know in your heart of hearts that it's not going to go back to the way it was, then just go with it. Find a way of dealing with it. And if it doesn't mirror with your values, then it's time for you to make a change. But if it's something that's still in line with your values and you're generally happy with everything, then just accept the change and move on, because there's no point in fighting against it or moaning about it like I get with some people, because it isn't going to change anything. It's not going to make it any better. So just adapt to it. And the other thing is listen. Really listen. So with my clients, we do lifestyle financial planning. So it's quite interesting to ask a question and just sit back and listen and keep your mouth closed. Just don't say anything. You can say more with your nodding of the head and just acknowledging what they're saying, but let them talk. because if you just jump in there, you might miss something really important that they were going to say, and then they'll forget about what they were going to talk about, because generally most meetings are led by me as the advisor, because I'm kind of taking them on that journey. But if you listen, and I found this on a few occasions, that something comes out that might actually surprise you. It certainly surprises me how different people can answer the same question very differently. So yeah.
Listening, you're absolutely right. I think it's a quality we all need to work on, all our business journey and life journey. We need to listen to our partners, our kids, and everything like that. And I think as we're very inept as humans to give that knee jerk, we want to give our take on it or say something, but I think the powerful listening is just incredible. And I know you do it very well, because we've had many conversations over the years. So, our conversation's nearly coming to an end. We could chat more about lots of distinctions and things, but I always think, I'm constantly a student of life. I'm constantly thinking, how can I learn like you do? How can we grow? And we talk about it. And I always read books and listen to podcasts as much as I can feed my mind, because there might, as you say, have a golden nugget in there. And like you said earlier about you reading books and stuff. So if we all get influenced by things we read or tips we hear. Along your journey, what would you recommend as one book that influenced you at a particular time of your life that you'd like to tell the listeners about?
Actually, this goes back to one of my other points about being willing to accept change and being able to do it. I was given this book by somebody else, or somebody lent it to me, in order to help me get my head around what was going on around me with that particular business and the changes that it was going through, because it wasn't specific to me, I don't think. Well, it might have been, but either way, I got something out of it, and it really helped me. So, it was great that I borrowed it. And it's called Who Moved My Cheese?
Oh, it's a great book, Spencer Tracy.
Yeah, Dr. Spencer Johnson, and it's only a short read. It's really quick, so I think I read it in in about an hour or something. But just the 4 characters that you might be able to associate yourself with. You might be one of those, and it's about which one do you want to be, and it's really interesting, but it kind of does something in your mind and changes the way you might think about something. So yeah, that one definitely had an influence on me.
It's a great book. I read it a long time ago. I probably need to go back, and I've got it on my library. I need to go back and revisit it, because we read a book once and it was useful at the time, but I think sometimes in another chapter, 10 years, 5 years, whatever, it's relevant again, but that's a great book. Thank you for that tip. So Stephen, where can people get hold of you? So, if they wanted to reach out, where's the best place? Obviously we can see your banner behind. So,
yeah, the banner's behind, always on brand, even when you're working from home.
Good. Yeah.
Our website, www.alexstragroup.co.uk, is a great place to start. Feel free to contact me. My email is stephen.pepper@alexstragroup.co.uk, and my other contact details are on my LinkedIn profile, quite easy to find. I think even my phone number's on there if anybody really wants to get in touch.
That's fantastic. Yeah, LinkedIn, we can all get hold of people for. It's a great resource for that. But thank you so much for our chat today. I know those tips will help others. I always do these short ones, 15, 20 minutes, so people can either get a notepad or onto their tablet and just capture a few of those distinctions, and just one message, one thought can change somebody's life. I truly believe that. So thank you for your tips. I hope you have an awesome time with your son. I know he's downstairs doing his homeschooling, because you're a great dad, and I hope they go back to school soon, which would be great. And we'll speak soon.
Thanks for having me, Susie.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye-bye. Bye.